Well, hello there, and welcome back to the show. All right, doing something edgy this time around, and luckily I'm not alone. I've got the Dark Lord of the Woke Sith with me again, Darth Sean. Good evening. How are you, sir?
No, not the woke Sith. Just
the Dark Lord of the Sith.
that's it. That
All
sounds
right,
better.
all right.
Yeah.
Anti-woke, though.
Anti-woke. Yeah.
Of course. So this evening, we're going to chat about the whole Joe Rogan thing. So like a few weeks ago, we all know what happened with Joe Rogan. It started with the Neil Young stuff. Neil Young popped out and went, listen, I'm removing all my stuff from Spotify because, Joe Rogan had people he didn't agree with.
Is it because of the thing of what he said on his little thing about he takes ivermectin?
Oh, the like horse tranquilizer or like the horse drug.
Yeah.
Turns out it's
why?
not a horse drug. It's actually like a medication that they've been using since the 1960s. 3.4 billion people have literally used ivermectin. No one's died. Yeah, because it's basically. I think it wasn't just that. It was that video, and it was interviewing that Peter McCullough and Dr. I think it was actually Dr. Robert Malone.
That's right. Yeah.
I think that was Neil Young's major issue. But so everybody knows the story, and I kind of like doing that thing where we kind of wait a little bit. I like giving things time and then going, let's look at it now. Never jump too quickly when the iron's hot. I know, like, you guys are looking at this now going, oh, this is old news, Mork. Why are you bothering? So last week, I don't know if you were watching Trevor Noah, Darth Sean.
No.
Yeah, neither was I, because no one watches Trevor Noah because it's not funny. None of the evening shows, the late night comedies, actually even funny. But of the worst of them is Trevor Noah. There's nothing funny about him.
New Trevor doesn't even know where the cookies are on the top shelf. And going forward, I only want to eat vegetables.
Honestly, his jokes are nowhere close. But Trevor Noah, obviously being on The Daily Show now, decided to put in his 2 cents. That's the thing I kind of want to chat about this evening. What happened was, all of a sudden, last week, about a week ago or so, Joe Rogan's back in the news now. And now it's because he's done like the worst thing in the world. Someone put a clip together of him saying the N-word. He's only been on YouTube having a conversation with someone, like every single day, 5 days a week for, 3 hours each time for about 15 years. Yeah, someone went through all that. But also you must have a lot of time on your hands. I mean, what are you doing? So like, or they've actually had this. So they put this clip together, the Supercut.
It's that clip where he just drops the N-word just non-stop.
Just constantly, right after each other. No context, nothing. He's saying it, and everybody's going, oh, what a racist bastard he is. But why was he saying it? He's like just been on YouTube for so long. What's the point? Is the argument? No, none of that matters. Bad Rogan, bad dog. I kind of wanted to jump in because one of my fellow South Africans thought that it's funny to give his 2 cents on the Joe Rogan thing. Here's what he said.
Now, even though Rogan apologized, this was strange. A lot of people were arguing sort of against his apology, saying that the N-word with context is totally fine for a white person to say. Yeah, and I understand what they're saying. Like, maybe you're a professor teaching history. Maybe you're a news anchor reporting on a story about Joe Rogan. Maybe you're in a Quentin Tarantino movie and you have to use the N-word, because if you don't, then the movie has no dialogue. But, for the most part, as a white person, you never need to use the N-word.
Right. So, yeah, let's just break that down, because I've got a couple of questions here.
If I'm telling you a story about a guy who called another guy the N-word and I used the word, is that fine?
Apparently not. No. What we're talking about here is what he determines as fine. So he's going...
Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah now. Trevor Noah goes like...
Oh, of course, because he's the emperor of black people.
As far as I know. So his context is, or if you're a history professor, or if you're a reporter reporting on racist issues, you're allowed to do it. Or if you're Leonardo DiCaprio playing in a Quentin Tarantino movie, then you can say the N-word non-stop. But anywhere else, you're not allowed to. So context matters in his subjective outlines of what context, those 3 things, the history professor, the reporter, you
And
know,
the
an
actor.
actor in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Okay.
That context is fine. Then he goes, any other context doesn't matter. But that's
That
weird.
seems completely reasonable to me, Mark.
No, that's very unreasonable. That's absolutely insane. So it's your subjective context. But then he goes on to say this.
In fact, here's a life hack for white people. Saying the actual N-word puts you in unnecessary trouble, especially if you're not racist. It doesn't matter the context, because black people don't have the time to sit down and sort out the racist who says the N-word 70 times with the non-racist who says the N-word 70 times. Black people are dealing with too much shit. No, look at how I was using it. No, dude, no one's got the time for that. Just stop saying it, or just be racist. It's easier for everyone that way.
So you hear what he's just doing there. So he's going, okay, cool. That's the context, his subjective context. Then it's fine in his, you know, in his mind. Any other time, the context doesn't matter. You're going, because, and his reason is because black people don't have time to go through and figure out the context. That's absolutely retarded, honestly. So if I took a clip of Leonardo DiCaprio from Django Unchained and just plop it together and make a supercut of him just saying the N-word constantly, and I show people, and then we're going to go, ooh, ignore context, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio's, you know, racist. Or what about the time when, you know, Joe Biden said this?
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
But he just said context doesn't matter unless it's one of those three things. So Joe Biden is not a professor of history. So he's basically a racist then, according to Trevor Noah. I mean, this is absolutely insane. Right? What do you think, Jothron?
He just annoys me.
No, he annoys me as well, honestly.
Either everything's okay to joke about or nothing is.
Yeah.
And that's my theory. Like, also, if you're offended, what? What's going to happen?
Yeah, nothing happens. Don't watch it.
Oh,
it's like,
my God, you're offended. Oh, okay, well,
I kind of don't give a shit. I don't care. It's actions that are more important. Say, for example, you say, fuck you, I hope you die. That's vicious, you know?
I mean, to you, like, it still doesn't affect me. I'm going to go, okay, well.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to go, well, whatever, you know, someone else is
going
probably
to carry on doing what I'm doing. Like, I just.
Worst thing you can do is, like, you know, call someone the wrong pronoun. Apparently, that's like kryptonite to people.
Oh, my God.
That's the worst.
Dude, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, that is definitely a whole nother show. We should actually look into that one.
Do we want to, though?
No. You know, speaking of like, for example, hate speech, saying the N-word to someone is considered hate speech, right? But saying to someone, I hate you, isn't. Like, just think about that for a second.
That. I want to start saying I hate you to everyone.
Like, that's apparently, that's not hate speech. That's just like...
If someone says I hate white people, that's not a hate crime.
That's not a hate crime? No.
If I say I hate black people, that's a hate crime.
That would be a hate crime. It's okay to hate all the white people, any with light complexion. Apparently, that's not considered racism, because all we have to do is we have to change the meaning of what racism actually, you know, how we've understood it for the last, I don't know, maybe 500 years. In the last 5 years, they've changed the meaning of that. So now it's like how we want the system to work, not equal laws for everybody. Everybody's got different laws because that's not complicated.
I mean, that makes sense. That sounds fair. And
no, of course. That's what fair means.
Yeah.
My whole vibe is like free speech is free speech. There is no such thing as hate speech, you know, because hate is a subjective thing. You define hate for me. Like, what is hate? Like, I hate you. Okay. What do you do in this situation? Actually, it's quite funny, though, because back when Trevor Noah used to be funny, he had quite a good answer to what you should do.
When words lose their meaning, we get power over them. So I was thinking we need to change it. We need to launch it in South Africa. Make it a positive word that we say to each other while smiling, you know, like a good thing, like in the streets. But you have to launch it. It has to be official. You can't just do it randomly because then people will get hurt. So we need to launch it like basically we need like National Cafe Day. That's what we need. And the whole country we celebrate. And on this day, everyone in the country must call each other that word. Everyone. But with a smile, with love, with joy, you know. Oh.
Quite interesting, don't you think, Darth Ron?
I do want to ask Trevor one thing. Like, what happened? Like, you used to be funny and you made sense. Like, I get it. Like, you know, take the power away. I 100% support that. What happened? Did your balls fall off?
No, but exactly. It's like you made a perfectly good argument. And actually, that's what happened back in the day. I mean, if you think about the 90s, you know, rappers kind of took that power back. They went like, they made the N-word their own thing. And they went like, okay, cool, it's not like a bad thing. It's exactly like he's pointing out there. I mean, you should watch the rest of that comedy special. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
And I mean, so what happened, Trevor? I mean, like, quoted it a while back. You know, someone's arguing with him. He goes like, at the end of your show, you had the people calling themselves the K word in Africa, you know, the South African K word, you know, to desensitize the word, Trevor Noah. And he's like, not about desensitization. It's more about destroying the word's power. He is 100% correct. So, like you said, it's right. What happened to him? You know what happened to him? He sold out. He's got like 16 writers writing for him. None of it is his jokes. And his jokes absolutely suck. This is nothing more than
a distraction.
Exactly. A distraction from what?
From the misinformation from Joe Rogan. Like,
yes, exactly.
This whole bullshit. I mean, look, it's the magician's sexy assistant on stage.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, sleight of hand.
Yeah, of course. It's like they can't nail him on the misinformation because what exactly did he say? Name it to me. So if you're going like you're watching this going, oh, you know, spreading misinformation. Did he tell people to use the horse tranquilizer that's not apparently a horse tranquilizer? Did he tell people? He said, no, he didn't. He said, I'm using it. This is what I did. I got COVID, blah, 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 blah. I'm using this. A bunch of other stuff as well. Has he ever once gone, don't take it. Don't take the vaccine or anything? No, he's never said that. He said this is what he's doing. But people are getting on their high horse.
Good one. Yep, that's a good one.
They're so polarized over these issues about vaccine and, you know, to vaccinate and not vaccinate. It's like, but I mean, the one side is going, just, I want freedom to do with one. Other side's going, how dare you, let's cancel you. And this is them trying to cancel him because they can't cancel him on the actual facts. They have to go and dig up shit from 20 years ago. I think like 3 of those conversations he's having is having a conversation about, Richard Pryor's comedy special called The N-Word. And Richard Pryor did it as a joke. Did it to take the power away from the word. And that's exactly what Trevor Noah says. But, you know, it's just silly. It's honestly silly. And
it's like he's schizophrenic. No, take the word, take the power away, and then in his clip, he's like the opposite.
No, because, I mean, he's paid now. He's paid to say what they tell him to say. He can't have his own opinions anymore, you know? Look at the world right now. I mean, we just had the NFL. All of woke Hollywood was there. You know, all the people going out, just wear your damn mask. They're not doing any of it. They're not upholding these mandates, this virtue signaling they're doing. They're not doing any of it. They're saying these things, but they're acting like, do as I say, not as I do. Rules for thee, but not for me. And it's like, stop listening to actors and these people. You know, listen to actual scientists, not just the one side. Listen to both. And also, just to mention this, because I hear this a lot, science is not a democracy. That's not how it works. I mean, it's madness. And it's like, I feel really sorry for Big Joe Rogan. I mean, like, I'm not the massive fan. I'll watch the, you know, odd Joe Rogan episode every now and again. But it's like, I'm not going to bat for him. I'm just like pointing out how absolutely ludicrous this entire thing is. And we got completely distracted.
Context apparently doesn't matter.
Yeah, context doesn't matter. So like every time in the history we had, you know, John Cleese when he was joking about being a Nazi. You know, are we going to arrest him now?
Yeah.
Why don't we dig that up? You know, what I mean, like, if context doesn't matter, then Joe Biden is a full-blown racist.
And you ain't black.
Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, regardless if he got paid, he was pretending he's still a racist. Because Trevor Noah just said context doesn't matter. But weird how Trevor Noah can say it. You know, he can be racist. He can make, you know, jokes about Chinese people. I mean, his entire special was called That's Racist. I mean, this is silly. People, think for yourselves. Stop listening to idiots. Stop listening to asshats. Everything isn't racist, right?
Yeah, thanks for that. That was an awesome video. I appreciate you ruining my evening once again.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I do.
I am now officially embarrassed to call myself South African.
Well, after, I mean, like what's it been, 4 years of Trevor Noah on The Daily Show? Oh my God, the
How
jokes
is he still
are
on
so
air?
bad.
Like, who watches
I
this
don't know.
fucking show?
I don't know. Like, have you seen the comedy?
Now, what I don't understand is why truckers are opposed to masks. I don't get that. I mean, masks are just mud flaps for your face. You just put a sexy lady silhouette on it and you feel right at home.
Oh, okay.
How is any of that funny?
It's like a child.
I know, dude. It's like YouTube for kids. It's like, throw a pie in someone's face. Dude, you're not funny. I don't know who finds that even remotely funny. It's like
And don't get me wrong, he used to be hilarious.
dude,
I used to love his shows.
He was. I mean, that one I just showed you. Watch the entire show. It's called Trevor Noah. That's racist. It is hilarious from the beginning to
His
end.
special that he did called Daywalker, that was amazing. I absolutely loved that.
But just not anymore because he's like
Yeah.
he's sold out. So let's just recap quickly. Context doesn't matter anytime, except when Joe Biden says it or when actors say it, because that's fine. You're not allowed to say the K word. You can't say the N word. You can't say you hate people of a darker race. Those are all hate crimes. But when you say I hate someone, that's not a hate crime. When you say fuck white people, or when you say I hate white people or any other kind of lighter skinned races, that's not a hate crime because reasons.
This
Kinda
is
sums it
so
up, right?
complicated.
Anyway, that was fun, right? We both learned something. We came out, kind of stronger, kind of wiser, But
If you say so, I'm just more confused than I was before.
I mean, I know I am kind of too, and I kind of thought I knew it, but I mean, obviously, we should probably read like White Fragility because that white lady knows what she's talking about, right? She
Clearly.
speaks for all the black races. Anyway. Well, thanks, Darth Sean. That was very illuminating. We kind of understand where we are. I mean, like the main takeaway for me is that Trevor Noah isn't funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, leave a comment, obviously because you can't hit the dislike button. No one's going to see that because we're only positive here on YouTube. So, please drop a comment in the bottom and tell us how much this sucked and, what you think, because we want to hear from you. What's your thoughts on, hating someone? Should just general hating things be a hate crime? Should we add like, hating techno music to be it also being a hate crime and hating hippies and things like that? Like, give us a list of things you really like us to add to the hate crime, and we'll definitely contact the authorities and make sure that those things are added, because we want a better society.
Oh, and please tell us how funny Trevor Noah is.
Yes,
We
of
would
course. Yeah,
love
tell
to
us
hear
your
about it.
funniest Trevor Noah joke from, the last 2 years, because, oh my God. Anyway. So links in the description below. Thanks so much for joining me, Darth Sean. And we'll see you guys later. Cheers.